See, so seeing that I have upgraded now, for you, especially for you, see how I care about my students, to Chat GPT-4, the question that I put in the previous video was this, and I put it into the 3.5 version, the free version. And it told me that it was only accurate until, was it January or March or something of 2022. Let's see what the paid version answer is. And the question was, what are the current trends in the fragrance industry? It's having a think about it. See this? The fragrance industry in 2024 is experiencing a variety of dynamic trends. So it's giving you up-to-date information, but not just that. It's giving you websites. Fragrance trends 2024 includes transparency, biotech, and then if you want to, it opens a new window and you can click onto that actual. I always reject the cookies when I can. Well, it's supposed to give you the article. Okay. There it is. Okay, there it is. You get 2 free articles. Oh my goodness, I have this video on my website on the Scent Academy. It's a brilliant actual, they've just got the image, but I've actually got the video. It's a stock video. And they've taken a still from it. But can you see that? What was that about the Spice Girls? Now it's the 2000 Spice Girls era. Last year we saw fragrances. When was this written? This was written in May 2022. So you're talking about, but it says future fragrances, transparency, biotech and feel-good fragrances to surge by 2024. So that's really something to take into account when you're looking now at your brand. Why don't you have a look at, obviously, biotech might be a bit, for me as well, that would be a bit above what I'm capable of, but definitely transparency and the feel-good fragrances, which I've been creating since 1998. So we've got here sustainability and ethical practices, nostalgic scents. This is interesting. Inspired by past decades, nostalgic fragrances are making a resurgence. This includes the revival of scents reminiscent of the 2000s, such as vanilla and big floral aromas. We'll go have a look at that in a second. Innovative formats and experiences, functional mood-enhancing fragrances, AI and personalization. We talked about what YSL are actually doing. YSL is actually owned by the L'Oreal group, the YSL beauty side of it. Spiritual and astrological influences as well. And I'm actually going to do a podcast about this, which is quite interesting. So if you're into this kind of thing, exploding topics, 6 top fragrance trends 2024 to 25. Well, let's go and have a look at this one first, which was that was nostalgic scents. That comes from the same article as before. Can you see? CD. What is this one? Let's have a look at this one then. 6 top fragrance trends. Gourmands blend sweet with sophisticated. Gourmand, good luck with a gourmand fragrance. But search interest in gourmand perfume has climbed more than 400% in recent years. It's obviously gourmand is things like it says here with edible notes. It's another term. Gourmand is another term for glutton. So it's all about food-like fragrances. And vanilla is the one gourmand scent. And it says here that it's becoming more sophisticated. And that's why I teach in my perfumery class to not get confused with vanilla as a base note and just use it alone, because it can end up smelling, well, you'll end up smelling like a cookie. And this, you see, this is quite interesting. They're making the vanilla with they're mixing it with rum, frankincense, vetiver, and leather-like accents. And if you want a leather-like boozy type accent and you're into natural perfumery, then I would go with something like labdanum, benzoin, and the rum obviously is a synthetic. Cherry, of course, we've got the Lost Cherry by Tom Ford, and it's becoming more popular now, it seems. Gourmand fragrance is pistachio. I know that Kay Ali, here we go, I was just about to mention them. This is one of the most searched perfumes, I think, on TikTok or something like that. Okay, so that's gourmand. Another one, number 2, long-lasting fragrance, goes into beast mode. Oh my God, no. I can't stand this. I'm sorry, but the things that they have to put into fragrances to make them that long lasting, I just would never put that shit on my skin. I just wouldn't. And long lasting fragrance because of TikTok. And we've got beast mode. TikTokers are promoting fragrances that last up to 18 hours and longer. And I disagree with this so much, because I just think it should be a fragrance that you want to keep spritzing on yourself. You know, I don't want to have something on my skin. You know, your opinion obviously might differ from mine, but I don't want to have a fragrance on my skin that's there all the live long day. I might want to wear a fragrance in the morning and then have it fade naturally, because in the evening or the afternoon, I might want to wear a different fragrance and I have to scrub my skin to get rid of the other one. So, okay, it's a trend, but not one that is popular in my household or in my studio. And it's giving you, pop up. It's giving you examples. And then we're just going to, hair perfume, yes. Because I don't like wearing fragrance on my skin, I'm a big fan of hair perfume. I've got a Chanel No. 5 one. And they do say that the alcohol in the perfume, and it's basically got less, it'll probably have glycerin in it, it will have more water content, and it will have other things that perhaps soften the skin. Rather than having a very high alcohol content, it'll have a less alcohol content than regular fragrances, because it could dry out the hair, although alcohol does evaporate, instantly. And fragrances that take on spiritual meanings is another one. Anyway, you can have a look at this website if you just actually Google exploding topics, which is all one word, .com/blog /fragrance-trends, moon moods, etc. Sacred water is part of the Harmonists Yang collection, so you can do yin and yang. And if you have a look at aromatherapy, and if you have a look at the chemistry of essential oils, you can be able to see there's a book, a book that I recommend. It's actually on my blog, and it's about the chemistry of essential oils. And in there, they talk about the yin-yang aspects of essential oils, whether they are energizing or whether they are relaxing. And so if you wanted to create yin-yang fragrances, then you could, using your knowledge of the yin-yang aspects of certain essential oils. Mood-altering fragrances that to promote wellness. If we've got, in one study, participants who slept in a room with a diffuser with essential oils running posted a 226 improvement in learning and memory over a period of 6 months. I don't believe in a lot of things. Yes, studies suggest that exposure to different smells can help improve memory, notably rosemary is one of the oils, but rosemary is a stimulating oil. It's a yang oil as opposed to a yin oil, and it is quite stimulating. So I wouldn't have rosemary in my bedroom at night time, but certainly in the daytime. But I don't like a diffuser running all night. I think if you have a diffuser running for the fragrance as you're going to sleep and have it on a timer to switch off after 30 minutes, I don't think it's healthy to have diffusers running all night and for you to be smelling that all the time. And another study showed that the scent of rose reduced the stress levels of hospital nurses. Interesting. And then we've got this one, which is a calming pen. So this is basically a roll-on, but it's in a nice tube. And that is Yeah, of course, it's got lavender, chamomile, and orange. Orange, sweet orange in particular, is a very relaxing oil. If you were to mix some Melissa in there as well, that would be really an incredible oil that would also make you happy. So that's that one. And I think, is that the end of it? Oh no, there's another one. Plastic alternatives, of course, increase sustainability. So those are trends. So do you see now the power of the Chat GTP 4? We're looking at the 4 version. This is the paid version. Now what we can do, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put nostalgic sense because I found this quite interesting. Please create me an image for this, which I will write an article on. And then you just copy the text from number 2, nostalgic sense, and let's see if it creates a nice little image for us. So I just wanted to show you this about ChatGTP. But another really powerful thing that I do with it while we're waiting for it to create the image, I make a lot of voice notes. I talk a lot, which you've probably noticed. And when I talk, I like to type it into Google Docs. I don't like to do it in the Word. You can do it in Word document, and I'm not quite a fan of the Word document. Now look at this image. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yes, it's a nice conversation. It's helpful. I'm giving it feedback. I like it because it is giving this little whimsy. Let's get it to regenerate it while I talk about what I was just talking about. So I go into Google Docs and I talk into the microphone like this because I want to write an article about something like I'm talking about now. And then what I want it to do is create, what I do is I copy it and it's all in text then. And what I do, instead of me going in and editing it and refining it, etc. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. That's pretty as well. That looks old worldly, doesn't it? Especially with this type of bottle with the ridges. You find that quite a lot in vintage perfume bottles. So you've seen 2 really good images there. So I'm going to demonstrate to you what I mean now about the Google Doc. So now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in Google Docs. And this is what I do. I'm going to press record first of all, and I'm just going to like ramble on into the microphone and show you exactly what I do and then how ChatGTP helps me with it. So I've opened Google Docs. All you need to do is go into Tools and then scroll down to voice typing here. That's it. Or you can hit Control Shift S. So let's start the recording, and then I'm going to show you a really cool trick. I'm going to show you now how I utilize Google Docs for voice typing and then use ChatGPT to help me to enhance the writing of it and to enhance the text. Now I do this if I'm preparing a podcast or I'm preparing an article for a magazine or for a blog, or if I'm relating an experience of an interview that I've had with somebody, and instead of me writing it, I use my voice, speech to text in Google Docs. Google Docs is much better than Microsoft Word, because Microsoft Word, if you don't keep talking like this, every time you take a breath, it puts a full stop and then starts a new sentence with a capital letter. And it makes it really hard for you to then go back and, not hard, but time consuming for you to keep going back and editing, remove the full stop, put the lowercase t, etc. And then you just can pause it when you want to take a breath. And I want to go to another paragraph. You can say new paragraph or new line if you want to do that, if it's still recording, obviously. So I'm going to start. Now I'm starting recording again, and you can see that it is really accurate in being able to determine the words that I'm saying, because I've used it such a lot, and it gets used to your voice over time. It will make some mistakes, so you need to enunciate your words and speak very clearly when you want to do speech to text. And you can see that it will give you spell checks as well, like enunciate, but when you have finished, You can see here enunciate spelt wrong and here enunciate is spelt correctly. And I am showing you this because it's just a demonstration for you to see how I can get this speech to text now and show you how I'm now going to tell Chat GPT that I want to write an article and I want them to make this more succinct and engaging for the reader. And that's how I utilize these two tools. It's so time saving. And we all need to save time because we've got so many things to do. We're juggling so many balls in the air, especially entrepreneurs, and you've got a lot going on. So if you can save time and get things done. And what Chat GPT is really good at is editing. It rarely makes grammar mistakes. It rarely makes mistakes and it rarely makes typos. So let's summarize this now. How I love using Google Docs for voice typing and Chat GPT to summarize what I've just talked about, because sometimes I can ramble on a little bit. And obviously I don't want that to go into my article. So I'm going to stop voice typing now. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get all of this, I'm going to copy and paste it. And I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to do a new chat. And I'm going to say, please, actually not summarize it, because if you summarize it, it might only do like a small paragraph. Please rewrite this text for an article and make it more engaging. There you go. Hi there, I'm Melanie Jane, and today I'm excited to show how I harness the power of Google Docs for voice typing and Chat GPT to elevate my writing, whether I'm crafting a podcast script, penning an article for a magazine or blog, or sharing insights for an interview. Unlike traditional methods so can you see how here I'm just talking. Hello, I'm Melanie Jane. To show you Google Docs for voice typing to help me enhance the writing of it and to enhance the text. Now I do this if I'm preparing a podcast, and it sounds terrible, but oh my goodness, look what it's done and made it look fantastic and made it sound fantastic. So let's wrap up. Here we have at the end. Let's wrap up using Google Docs for typing, prepared with the editing prowess of Chat GPT. Not only saves precious time, but also enhances the quality of my work, allowing me to stay productive without sacrificing quality. Now, I never said any of those words, but it knew what I was trying to get across. How much better does this sound? Once my dictation is complete, I turn to Chat GPT. It's a game changer for refining and tightening my drafts into engaging, concise content. It knew what I was trying to get across. I couldn't get the words out. Perhaps I'm not that good with the grammar. I actually am when I think about it, but when I'm talking, it knows what I'm trying to say and it puts it into beautiful grammar like this. So that's it. I just wanted to show you those two features. Please give me an image of a perfume bottle inspired by Marilyn Monroe. Just something for fun, just to end this short lesson. I love creating images on this, and it normally predominantly gives you square images, but you can tell it the ratio. So if you want it to be like 1200 by 800 pixels, or px, you can do it. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, stunning. And it's actually even got her name on it, and then you can actually just click it here to make it bigger. Marilyn Monroe. Oh my God, it's beautiful. How beautiful is that picture? Let's get it to regenerate another one. So you can see, but you can do different aspects. You can have it portrait, you can have it landscape. etc. And it's so chat is all about, these bot babies are all about the prompts that you give them. They're as good as the information that you give them, and that's it. And you can play with it, you can correct it, you can say, no, that's not right. It's given me facts that are wrong. It's told me about jasmine oil and how it's steam distilled, and I'm like, actually, it's not. Or they'll say that, it's created by enfleurage, which is the most popular method of getting jasmine, and it actually isn't. Look at this one. This is weird. So I correct it and say, actually, it's not. It's solvent extracted. Look at that, Marilyn Monroe. It's got like her hair. That's horrible. But I do like the first one. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. I think that's all I've got to say on the subject of AI for this bonus section. Okay, I'll see you on the other side in the next section. Take care. Stay fabulous.